All right, so check this out. I'm in an interview setup, lighting myself with two lights, and both those lights are about the size of a can of Coke. That's right. Today we're going to take a look at the Godox Knowled MS60R. All right, so as you can see, this is the Godox Knowled MS60R. It is about the size of a can of Coke, as you can see. You can probably sit back and drink it. And this is just a light system. I've gotten this for a couple weeks, and I got to be honest, this is actually a light that has gotten me pretty excited. And I think the first reason why is that if I'm going to talk about this MS60R, this is not really a light. I mean, it is a light. It's a light that does a lot of stuff. But more importantly, this is a lighting ecosystem that you get from Godox with this MS60R. And I think it's really worth talking about on how this lighting ecosystem, everything that comes in one package, and just how powerful this can be if you are a shooter. Now, this is going to be a pretty long review today, so do me a favor, if you want to jump to the sections, I do have chapter markers down below. Feel free to jump down there and check out the different chapter markers. And in full disclosure, Godox did reach out to me and ask me to test out this MS60R. I'm not getting paid by this. They're not getting to review this in any way, shape, or form. They wanted to send this to me. They asked me to test it out, and they just wanted to give my honest input, and that's what I'm doing here on this video. Now, the Godox Knowled MS60R is a full RGBW light that really kind of sets out and redefine what a practical, accessible lighting ecosystem looks like. Now, if you're interested in a bicolor version, they do make one called the MS60 Bi, but I have the R version, which is the full RGBW, and this really has a ton of little tricks up its sleeve. Now, let's start off talking about the size and form of this light. So I think this is one of the coolest things about the light that really helps set it apart from a lot of things out there. And this thing is really, it looks like a soda can, but it's really more like a Lego in the fact that you can configure this in so many different versions. Now, the first thing you can see is that, yes, it does have this very kind of circular tube type situation, but it does have a mount that you can put on there. It's got a 3/8 screw right here, so you can put it on there, and it has a flexible mount that you can come in here. I'm just going to put this mount in right here. And then once I put the mount on there, you can see now I can easily mount this on a stand, and it's pretty much good to go and lock it down. So it gives me a lot of flexibility. If I want to get this thing super streamlined, I can, or if I want to have it where I just put it on a traditional light stand, I have that ability built right into the light. I really like that factor. Now, the R version of this light comes with multiple modes, including CCT, that's an 1800 to 10,000 K color temperature. It has HSI, XY, gels, and it has the standard FX mode you'd expect now in basically any LED light. And the good news is, while it has all this lighting flexibility, it's a really high quality light. This has a CRI and a TLCI of 95. Now, I'll be honest, in today's world, just about any LED light you have, it's kind of, if it's a professional light, you're gonna expect it to have RGB, CCT, HSI, gels. All those things are stuff that are very good, but they're to be expected. The thing that really starts to set, in my opinion, this MS60R apart is its versatility and flexibility in what you can do with it. And the first way you got to talk about is going to be its power flexibility. Now, as you can see in this light I have in my hand right now, I have a battery that is attached to it. So I can cut this on, and there's a little locking mechanism right here. You can swing it down and then the light comes on. Kind of a nice thing, and if you have this in a bag, you don't want it to accidentally get cut on. Get a nice little feature there. If you want to cut off that safety feature, you can easily do that here in the menu. But as you can see, I have a battery operated light. Now, one thing that I really liked about this light that I thought was a really cool feature is on the display here, it actually tells you, you have not only a output showing you the battery level, but it actually has an hours and minutes of how much expected time you have left on your battery. This was so unbelievably helpful when I was out testing this, because I knew what I could expect. If I put this somewhere on a battery, I kind of knew a general range of what that time limit I was going to go on. And what I found was, if I'm running this thing at full power, I could get about an hour of stuff at full power. I almost never run lights like this at full power. So for instance, right now, I'm running this at 9.6% power, and I don't know if you can see that, but at 9.6% power, I have over 8 hours of life in this light. I can actually run this all day on this light. And as you can see, this thing is pretty punchy and bright. And if I'm using this to sculpt light in the background, I have a ton of options. But that's not what this light is about. This light is about flexibility and versatility. So if you look here, I'm going to cut it off. not only do I have a battery, but it's got a button up here on the top. And if I click that button on the back, I can pop off the battery. Now, this is good for one obvious reason. One, I can switch the battery, and I got the 2-light kit here, and this comes with 4 batteries, so you can easily switch out the batteries. But let's say you don't want to worry about batteries at all. Well, check this out. This thing has, right here, a DC power outlet right here. So check it out. I can plug DC power in there, and I can run all day here on this light. And what I really like about this is if I'm doing an interview setup or I'm setting up in a studio that I know I'm going to be shooting something for several hours and not moving my light, I'm going to basically use the DC output because I don't want to worry about the batteries. But let's say something unexpected happens. I need to go, boom. I need to go and run a gun. It is that fast to a battery operated light. Really, really versatile. It's something that I started using this and it just instantly became something that I wanted every single light I ever had to have that ability to switch out those very fast outputs. And what I love about it is still so streamlined. It's battery operated, but I'm not having to hang a V-mount from the light. But what's cool, this thing has even more tricks up its sleeve. And what I love, I'm gonna take off the handle, and you got this kind of nice little streamlined barrel light here. But check this out, if you're in a DC like this, they have an actual light socket adapter. What this means is you put that light socket adapter in, and boom, you can put this in a lighting fixture. And what's great is the lighting fixture will power the light. You never have to worry about it running out. And where I found this very, very useful is if you're in a situation where maybe you're filming at a restaurant, you have like these little lights over counters and stuff. I love screwing this in, and what it does, it gives me a beautiful little concise beam. And that's not even the end of the power options. If you look at the top here, it has actually got a USB-C input that you can actually power through a power bank as a USB-C while you're going, if you want to use that as a that. All right, now let's talk about the light itself. And the first thing is, this is the MS60R, which means that this is a 60-watt light. And this thing packs a lot of punch because of the way it's designed. Okay, so I'm back here in my interview setup just to illustrate just how much power and versatility these little lights have. Now, I have a 2-light kit, so I'm using 2 lights. I have a kicker and I have a key light. But if you look right here, you'll notice I have that little tiny light in a 60-inch softbox. That's a 5-foot softbox, and it's still working. And I've made sure to set my camera in what I would consider realistic interview situation. So I'm on a Canon R5 right now. I have it at a 2.8 and an 800 ISO. I'm not cranking up the ISOs. I literally have this 800. And as you can see, even at 3200, where the output's a little bit less than even the 5600 on this light, I still have enough on a battery to punch through 2 layers of silk and the 60-inch softbox and illuminate me in a nice manner. And this is just really shows you just the power of how a system like this works. One, this is battery operated, so I could set it up super fast. The other thing is, if you look, you know, the whole light kit comes in this case. I'm lighting an entire interview setup, just me, not the environment, but the person, with this 2-light little kit. That means this is great for travel and on-the-go shooting, because I can get this and this softbox and one stand with me. I can jump on an airplane and I'm good to go. So having this kind of flexibility in an interview setup is really nice, even though I wouldn't necessarily recommend shooting 60-inch softboxes as your key light with this light. It's great knowing you have that option. And I think, you know, with the amount of punch that this MS60 system comes and the flexibility, you can use this in a lot of different ways. And that's really the power of this system. For instance, if you have a window, I actually found this bright enough that when I put the Fresnel on there, I could come in and just get a little splash of light. If I was in a room and I had a dead corner and I just wanted something coming through the window, I was able to just get a little bit of push. But it's much more than that. It's the way this thing is designed from the front. So what I love about it is this light comes with a lens attached to it right out of the box. And when I shine on the table, you can see just how narrow this beam is. It gives me a ton of control, which is what, if you're a director of photography, if you're doing lighting, control is everything, and you want a light you can control. You don't want to vomit light everywhere. But what I like about this is you're not married to this light. It gives you a ton of freedom in what you do. And you can kind of pop this off, and as you see, this is the light naked. It's a much wider beam, obviously. Or I can put this on, and boom, super easy to put on. You plop it on and you're ready to roll. Now what's cool is, remember I said this was an eco lighting system? This is a total ecosystem of lighting. And one thing that's cool is that Godox gives you these magnetic filters for both lights. And what's nice is you see the front of this, boom, it's magnetic. everything you have on there can attach magnetically. So easy to put things on. Obviously, it's super, super fast. And what I love is each of these filters here comes in and they all kind of provide a unique little idea for what you can do with the light. And the stackability of it means that there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get the light exactly the way you want when you are shooting with that. In addition to having these filters, they also have things like, they have this little cup right here to give me a little more soft light. Well, check this out. I could put this near my camera and now I've got a dedicated eye light coming in. So having a little diffusion dome like this is really nice. The bigger 4-light kit has other diffusion options that come with it. This is the 2-light kit, so this is all I got with that. And what I love about it is, check this out. I can pop this out and I've actually got a zoom lens that comes with this. If I click this zoom lens on, well, check this out. It's focusable. So if I poke it right there, you can see, look at that. I can widen the beam out and make a wide beam, or I can narrow the beam and get it very, very narrow in spots. So let's say for some reason I want to get my camera up there, I can really pop it in, or I can focus it. So you have this focusable beam, which is a really, really nice left. Now, even more surprising than all that is the fact that they're not even done with everything that this light comes with in the kit. Now check this out. This actually comes with a snoot as well. So I can pop this on there and now I can get a super precise light just anywhere I want. This is fantastic for highlight and product stuff, and it's rubber too. So what I love, you can go pop it in, you put it in your bag. Oh, and if you wanted a barn door, well, hey, check this out. Now they actually do have barn doors, which is something that I would 100% want on any light. And what I love now is, as you can see, you have barn doors that can come with it. And once again, these barn doors are magnetic, just like the filters, so you can pop that right on there. Now, if you're looking at this and saying, man, Bryan, that's a lot of stuff to come with one light, and it is, but there's more. They include even more stuff, and that is the fact they actually include one, and I'm gonna bring up the second one here. You get 2 soft boxes that fit with this. You have a square one and a circular one. And not only are they soft boxes, they're soft boxes that come with a grid, would really, once again, let you control the movement. So if I pop this off, I'm gonna pop this on right quick. I'll just put the light on. And the other thing too is you can see just how fast these things pop on, and boom. Now I have a softbox. And I think the light for these things is actually pretty impressive for the size. I love having a grid. It's one of the #1 things I want on any light I have. And you can see how fast I can get from it. Like I have a softbox here. Let's say I want to pop it off and go back. I can pop that off, boom. And now I'm right back to my next lighting situation. So as you can see, this is an absolute powerhouse of a light. And that's why I'm gonna say, I don't even call this a light. I really do call this an ecosystem. And what's amazing, all this stuff fits in one case. And I do want to point out the case here because you do get this kind of nice Pelican style case. It's lockable, it looks watertight, everything fits in there. And what I love is actually got these dots, you can actually stack stuff on it. So really, really nice, makes it super easy to travel. Now, in addition to the lights themselves, we need to talk about controlling the lights outside of the lights. Now, the MS60 does have DMX/RDM control, and it has CRMX built into it, which means you have app control. All right, now the Godox lighting app is a really powerful little app that lets you basically access all the stuff that is here in this camera and then some. And honestly, I really think this is probably my second favorite lighting app that is out there. I do love the Sidus app from Aperture, but after the Sidus app, I've always been really, really happy with the Godox app just because it always works, it's super simple, and I can rely on it, which when you're on a set, you don't want to be having a finicky app that decides it's not going to start working. And as you can see, you can get a ton of different options here. You can actually set the dimming curve. You can come and get now your color temperature. You can see now as I got it, I can instantly have all of my lights moving. It's very, very intuitive. I have RGB. I can put my color filter, so if you are a gel person, you can go on there. You have XY, so you can get your XY, and you have your basic FX. And what I love about this is you can see I have both lights on here, and it's just super easy. I can cut it on and off. And they have a very, very powerful app actually that's designed specifically for the iPad that is another one that gaffers and stuff will probably find very, very interesting. Now, I've been talking about all the flexibility of what this light is and all the modifiers is, but I know the first question I had when I was looking at this is there a Bowens mount modifier for that? And this is a kind of yes or no answer. As it stands right now, I did reach out to Godox and they said they don't have a native Bowens mount for this yet, but they are working on it. However, that being said, I actually found a Godox Bowens mount right here. And this is actually a Godox Bowens mount adapter that I use for my flash photography that I put my flashes in. And what I love about this, you can take this right here and boom, look at that. Now I have a Bowens mount accessory for this MS60R. And the best part about it is this one from Godox costs $25. So it's a very, very affordable mount that, in my opinion, completely and totally unlocks what this light is. And that's really where I see what this whole system's strength is. This is a flexible, versatile system that literally brings the kitchen sink with it when you get it. I mean, this thing brings such an incredible amount of value to the game, and it all comes in one case, which it's just astounding to me. Now, like I said, this is the 2-light kit. Now, this costs $12.99, and that gets you $12.99 for 2 lights, all the modifiers, all the cables, all the powers, 4 sets of batteries, 2 soft boxes, the case, all of that. So it is really an unbelievable option. And if you get the 4-light kit, I think that's $24.99. That comes with even more lighting modifiers that I don't have here in the 2-light kit. So this is really something that I think if you need just one simple solution to really expand your lighting and really start getting professional looking design, this is something that'll absolutely let you get that thing done. Now, no system is perfect, and whenever I do a review, I always like to point out any rooms for improvement just so you're fully aware of what the strengths are and weaknesses of this system to see if it's something that actually makes sense for you in your kit. While this light is awesome in the fact that it goes down to 0.1%, which I am, you can see I'm there at 0.1%. I did notice when you're less than 1%, it does have a very, very noticeable green shift in the light. So, you know, once I get it up to about 2% or so, it really shifts back to the right color temperature. But less than 1%, you can get those super low light things there, but just be aware there is a green shift. But what's really cool about that is while it does do that, it does have a green magenta shift here that you can control that. Really, the only other thing I'd love to see added to this kit is it would just be nice to see a dedicated Bowens mount. Now, that being said, that's kind of a small thing because, as I said, Godox already makes a Bowens mount adapter that obviously very, very easily fits their light. So there's already an adapter for it. It's a small thing because the solution already exists, but it is just something you should be aware. If you get this light, you're going to want to have it on Bowens mount accessories, guaranteed. Anyway, guys, as you can see, I was very, very impressed by this. So much to go over and what it is, but this is something that I think if you need a light kit, what I love about this, it's affordable. It gets you every accessory you could possibly think of, it seems like, in one tiny little case. And you access it, you accent this with one other light, a bigger light for a key light, you're gonna have a really, really powerful lighting kit on the go. And it's something that you're gonna be able to use for several years and really, really up that professionalism that you're bringing on set with you. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear what you have to say about this. Leave me notes and comments down below. And yeah, go out there, keep on shooting. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.